Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're tracking the absolutely insane zero-to-hero journey of Choi Sung. This guy is an absolute unit who spent a literal millennium grinding in the abyss. We are looking at a story of sheer, unbreakable willpower, where a pretty mundane high schooler transforms into an unmatched cosmic deity. And how does he do it? Through nothing but relentless hardcore training. It's wild.
Okay, let's dive into this. Just imagine the scene for a second. You've got this massive arena where elite hunters fight just to prove their strength, right? A supposed rookie steps into the ring against this massive, bald mountain of muscle. Naturally, the crowd writes him off immediately. No chance. But the moment the match actually starts, bam, the rookie buries his fist straight into the giant's face and sends him flying across the arena. One single punch. The medical staff can barely keep up, hauling the losers away, because this rookie is out here treating veteran hunters like literal training dummies. So the entire arena is left asking the exact same question: who on earth is this guy? Well, to understand his ridiculous power, we've got to look back.
Section 1, Contract with a Goddess. You see, before he was out there one-punching champions, our boy Choi was really just a weak, training-obsessed orphan, just trying to survive as a low-level C-class hunter. While everyone else was out there relying on flashy magic, Choi was stubbornly dedicated to just basic martial arts. I'm talking about a guy bench pressing during his literature classes.
So one night, this radiant entity known as the Goddess of Balance visits Choi in a dream, and she shows him this terrifying vision of the future. We're talking apocalyptic, cosmic threats, evil constellations sending their servants to completely destroy Earth. The monsters Choi struggles against now, literally just ants compared to what's coming. And in her foresight, this pathetic C-rank martial artist is actually the only pivotal force capable of averting the whole catastrophe.
Which leads to an absolutely hilarious misunderstanding. The goddess fully expects him to hesitate, before signing away his soul, but instead, Choi just blindly and instantly accepts this totally unfair celestial contract to go to the hellish abyss. Why? Because he purely thinks it's a standard Dragon Ball-style hyperbolic training simulation. The guy literally only asks one question: will this make me stronger?
Section 2, Centuries of Hellish Training. So leaving just a single letter behind on Earth, Choi steps right through the portal into an infinite space of raw, dangerous magic, fully believing he's just entered some highly advanced training center.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because his timeline is just ridiculous. In year 1, he casually walks into a deadly magical storm that absolutely should have shredded him, but instead, he just absorbs it. Fast forward, and for the next 100 years, he literally uses a humongous stone serpent named Onyx as a punching bag until he finally shatters its scales. Then, by year 300, he decides to just go for a swim in a sea of unnatural, highly toxic purple poison, just to push his limits. And this completely ridiculous training logic rapidly evolves his stats. His basic D-rank martial art turns into the divine celestial technique. Punching a giant stone serpent for a century? Yeah, that unlocks a B+ rank internal strike. And how on earth does he survive the poison sea? Well, by deciding that the toxic, monstrous fish are just his daily meals. Eating them grants him complete poison immunity. Basically, his entire skill tree is growing entirely through sheer, brute force survival. Section 3, the Demon Inn. Now, the stakes here escalate dramatically. Choi actually moves from mere survival to claiming actual territory in the cosmic underworld. Because, hey, proving that even in hell, a man needs a place to cook his meals, right? So, searching for shelter, Choi stumbles upon a monster restaurant. He beats up the owner, kicks out all the demonic patrons, and hilariously renames the place the Demon Inn. Here, he uses, get this, chair fist martial arts to fend off endless waves of monsters. And he does this while peacefully practicing his hobby, cooking highly toxic demon meat and poisonous fruits. He is literally turning what should be lethal toxins into his daily power-ups. But of course, his peace is interrupted by Viragos, the absolute strongest servant of the dominator of blood and war. Now, Viragos uses this limitless, corrosive blood magic, but Choi's relentless grinding really pays off here. He unlocks the S-rank Phantom footwork, which lets him traverse space instantly. And then, by burning through his inner strength, he awakens a brand new ability, the Celestial String, which weaves divine energy right into his fists. Choi completely shatters Viragos' blood magic, just obliterating a demonic champion with pure martial arts. Section 4, Slaying the Nine-Headed Hydra. By killing Viragos, Choi puts a massive bounty on his own back, and this unwanted attention leads him straight to his deadliest opponent yet, in the unforgiving depths of the abyss. Enter the nine-headed Hydra. This is a creature so toxic that its breath reduces literally anything to ashes. Now, during this desperate fight, Choi actually transcends physical martial arts and taps into what's called existential power. So what does this all mean? Well, existential power is a cosmic force that allows the user to bend reality and time itself. By manipulating this energy, Choi actually manages to slow down time and completely halt the Hydra's supposedly invincible regeneration. This gives him the opening to sever its heads, one by one. And the loot from this boss fight is absolutely legendary. From the Hydra's blood, Choi scores an A+ undying regeneration skill. His old serpent buddy, Onyx, rewards him with an invaluable dimensional pocket, really just to hold all the new materials. And then, in true Choi fashion, he casually purifies and cooks a gourmet feast out of the toxic Hydra meat to share with his serpent friends. I mean, he gains even more strength and loyalty just by having a barbecue.
Section 5. The New Constellation. This section marks a massive paradigm shift. We are about to witness Choi's official apotheosis from a stubborn martial arts grinder to a literal cosmic deity within the universe's hierarchy.
Choi stumbles into the domain of the constellation of dreams and greed, and she drops a massive plot twist. She reveals that Choi isn't just a human anymore, and this brilliantly illustrates how, because of his immense existential power and all the followers he's gained, he is already walking the path of a constellation. His sheer willpower has actually transformed him into a god without him even realizing it. Accepting this truth triggers a massive surge of universal resonance. Choi officially unlocks his god-tier title, the undefeated avatar of training. His body shifts, his muscles refine, and he achieves a perfect, heavenly martial body. He is now a presence that the universe itself literally has to acknowledge, wielding this incredibly unique power to subdue the strong and assist the weak. But you know, the Abyss is deeply political and parasitic. To actually survive the ruthless older gods, Choi has to form an unlikely alliance. He teams up with the constellation of dreams and greed, who acts as their strategist, and the cat of lava and magma, this master blacksmith who forges him orichalcum weapons. Together, this small coalition of lesser-known constellations prepares to take on the real heavy hitters. What follows is a brutal, centuries-long conquest across the Abyss. Actually, scratch that. It's not just conquest, Choi absolutely dominates. He defeats the oppressive Cardinal of Plague and Darkness. He completely obliterates the constellation of the Clockwise Needle in a 2-century war. And when he faces the Raging Old Man, a constellation known for just boundless fury, Choi and his allies crush him in 6 hours flat. He is just systematically dismantling the mid-tier gods. Section 6. Returning to Earth. Finally. After 1,000 years of looping battles, cooking monster meat, and dealing with cosmic politics, our overpowered hero steps through a mysterious gate and finally feels the fresh air of Earth again. But his homecoming comes with some crushing irony. While Choi spent a millennium in hell, proving that martial arts could quite literally slay gods, he learns that his earthly idol, the famous Chinese warrior Xian Li, was actually exposed as a massive fraud. Li had been bribing judges to fake his rank, which entirely ruined the reputation of martial arts back on Earth while Choi was gone. Determined to set the record straight, Choi heads straight to the Hunter Association to get reassessed. And we get this hilarious comparison between Earth's fragile technology and Choi's newly acquired god-level stats. When he actually tries to measure his power, his inner energy is so dense and overwhelming that it instantly shatters the association's measuring devices. Earth simply doesn't have the tech to comprehend a constellation. His journey then culminates in one final earthly dungeon. Choi enters the trial of the goddess of defeat and laziness. To win, he uses his sheer willpower to overcome magical restraints by literally doing absolutely nothing. So the crucial point is that the goddess is so impressed by this fellow constellation doing nothing that she immediately makes him her successor. She just passes her authority right over to him so she can go binge Netflix. I mean, you can't make this up. Choi Yan-sung survived 1,000 years of magical storms, toxic seas, and cosmic wars. He evolved from a pathetic C-rank hunter into the undefeated avatar of training. But as he steps back into a modern world filled with bureaucratic hunter associations and fraudulent celebrities, we really have to ask, can a literal constellation who solves problems by punching them actually navigate the mundane, complex politics of human society? We'll have to wait to find out. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.